be prepared to be shut down for 18 months. Like 18, are you out of your like murders, domestic murders will go up by 10 times. Like it's going to be ridiculous.
Dude, it's crazy. How are you handling the lockdown so far?
You know what, man? Like it's funny because at first, when everything started going down, people didn't know how to react. So at one point in time, they were like just telling guys, like, if you came in and you coughed, they were like, go home. You're in, you're in. So we're like, holy crap, man. So people had sent home for 12, 14 days, something like that. I had a Kelly week in the middle of this and a vacation day. So I was at home for, it was like 10 days straight, something like that. It's insane, bro. Like
it really is.
I wanted to shoot myself. It was so bad. Thank God my girlfriend and I get along, man, because I could not imagine being trapped in the house with 15 or someone that I just didn't like, or by myself. I'm already insane, and if you put me in a house by myself, I mean, besides like the 4 to 5 days of self-love that's going to happen, I don't know what I would be doing. You know what I'm saying? So,
you keep like a little notebook. I keep notebooks about everything. I can imagine your notebook for video ideas would be, I mean, during this time, it's probably about that young thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I keep on my phone, I keep all my ideas and stuff. And, it was funny because leading up to all this happening, I was like, I've kind of not run out of ideas, but, I try not to beat the same subject to death. So like leading up to this, I was like, I don't know, man, I don't want to, because if I stretch too far outside of the norm, then people are like, oh, I don't get it. And then, I always try to keep it firefighter related, like firefighter or paramedic or EMT, because it's not about, I love to have videos that have crap tons of views. But in the end, it's just about us. It's about, bringing comedy for our people. But yeah, man, the last 3 weeks have been insane, dude. I put out 3 videos, and all 3 videos have above 4 million views on it. Like, it's,
wow.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Crazy.
It's insane. It's insane. It's absolutely insane, dude. Like the one video is the toilet paper one where come to your house and bidet your butthole. Which I love doing that one. And then and then the glove video was, I don't know, that one that has like 23 million views on it right now. It was insane. But it was so relatable for people. People were like, yes, people have absolutely no clue of what they're doing when it comes to gloves, and then the last one was the mask one that people freaking loved as well. So
it's so funny that when I saw the glove one, and then I go to Kroger's and watch these people have no idea how to wear PPE and exposing themselves, thinking they're quote unquote protecting themselves. Like, you guys have no clue.
It's funny because you want to educate, right? So you want to educate, and that's why I put out another video about how to take your gloves off and stuff like that. So you want to educate, but at the same time, people don't want to learn. They don't care. They just don't. They want to put their gloves on. Human ignorance is both a blessing and a curse, right? Like human ignorance is, I believe, what allows us to continue moving forward and not like murder ourselves or someone else at all point in times. Because Joe Rogan says it's the best. He's like, we're on a rock that's flying 25 billion miles an hour, circling around a giant ball of hot gas that could suck us in at any second. Like if you actually thought about that, you'd be like, Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying? So, but it really comes down to like, as long as people are in genuine being safe, but the COVID has taught me 2 things. One, there are more CDC and epidemiologist specialists than I've ever known in my life.
Where have they been hiding?
They're all on Facebook. It's incredible, dude. Everybody knows everything. Like, it's so awesome. So, and that's 95% of humanity are just good humans. Like, they genuinely, They want to take care of each other, but that 5% are absolute assholes. Just You know, I mean, like, I was so impressed. I was so impressed with like Rogue Fitness
Right.
shut down all their operations to start building
Face
what do you call it?
shields.
And face shields. And I think were they building ventilators as well? I'm not
Oh,
sure,
yeah, yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I know Tesla did that, and Nine Line Apparel shut down all their operations to build masks. And, you know, and the Banyan treatment centers, the guys that I work with, they purchased $3,500 in coffee and sent it to 300 pounds of coffee and sent it to 50 different locations.
Nice.
Like, you know, like everybody's trying to do their part, and it's so cool to see that. And then you have that other 5% who are freaking scumbags. Like, just, the best example, dude, workout equipment. People, let's say a wall ball, or let's say a 45-pound plate normally sells for, $50.
Right.
People are selling those for $150 now, and they're literally writing on their descriptions, "Hey man, supply and demand,
Supply and demand,
like,
Merca,
sorry, dude."
Merca.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh my God, I could not. Like, if that was my neighbor and he was like, yeah, 150, it was normally 50, I would punch him in the face. I would punch him in the face. I would steal his 45. I would give it back to him, but I would hold it ransom until after all this was done. I'd be like, here's your stuff back, bro.
Man, Jason, it's just amazing to see all the good come of everything. I mean, it's just, I love watching the firefighter supporting it's almost like the arch nemesis of the firefighter paramedic is who? It's the emergency room nurse, nursing home attendant. It's like the arch nemesis. And now all of a sudden you see fire trucks sitting out in front and say, hey, listen, thank you for what you're doing. Because, I mean, we're on the front lines, but they're really, really on the front lines.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, I agree.
So
and there's a difference. There's a difference between us and them when it comes to this. With us, most of the time, our exposures are very limited, where we get them, we immediately get in the, I don't know for you guys, but for us, even if we suspect it, we're wearing N95s on everybody. We have a much lower, everybody, we get N95s and then we put a surgical mask on them. So like chances of contraction super low there. And then we are putting, and most departments have stock of N95s or KN95s or at least surgical masks or face shields, something. But a lot of these nursing staff, they just, you cannot possibly, especially for the amount of exposure that they're getting, they can't possibly provide enough PPE. Yeah. So nurses are suffering right now. And I agree with you. They need to be thanked. And I've always said that nurses have a much harder job than we do. Because most of the time I'm dealing with a patient for 15 minutes, and I'm dropping them off at the hospital and be like, later. And then,
we're going for Chinese food. Hopefully you get a lunch.
Yeah. Like I see them 2 hours later. I'm like, how's that patient? They're like, screw you. I hate this place. I'm like,
like we drive around town going, ooh, which one can make the nurses the maddest? Yeah. This guy's covered in feces. Let's take him in the emergency room. So what are you seeing down? I mean, here's one of the reasons I want to make sure that we're staying positive today, because that's the main reason I brought you on Jumpseat Radio. What are you seeing at like a local level or even a national level that you see that how we can help each other during this time? I mean, I really think that you're probably, I bet your internet numbers have gone through the roof because we're all on the internet all day long now. I mean, I saw my screen time the other day and about puked because we're trapped inside. I mean, I'm sure that they kind of lean on folks like you that provide that great positive content.
You know what, man? I think trying to stay positive is the way to go. That's it. Like, I did something with Banyan the other day, and I just like my 4 or 5 tips to kind of try to make it through this. And some of it's like, stick your head out a window, like stick your head out a window for 5 minutes, bro. Like vitamin, the sun is amazing and it helps lift your spirits, but vitamin D is actually really good for you. They actually say vitamin D isn't really a vitamin. It's something that's super, super needed for like neurochemical transmissions. I'm not sure if that's the right word to use, but like it's really cool. So go outside, but dude, and I said that it's super hypocritical, or it's fun, ironic, I guess, not hypocritical, but ironic. Like limit your amount of time on social media because people, unless you're going on there and you're like looking for the positive ones, or if you see a video you don't like, you just scroll past, like whatever, man. Like people look for reasons to be jerks on Facebook and on Instagram. That is their thing, dude. So, you just go past it, man. Like, have a good time, but to find the best thing that I can sell for people, find a new skill. Find something that you would have never normally done. Do DIY projects.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, DIY projects are huge right now, right? And I mean, like, I fixed everything around my house, and I have no clue what I'm doing. I absolutely no clue. There was a 95% chance that all of the stuff will fall apart when I'm done.
But that's okay, because we stayed busy during the lockdown.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, like, there are things to do. Like, find something new. New skills are huge, and they don't have to be in your business. Like, they don't have to be firefighting related. They don't have to be, you don't have to be learning something, because sometimes that can be really daunting. So find, just find something that you normally wouldn't do and do it. Try it new. You might find some really, really cool stuff that you like to do,
Yeah, I really think that I would encourage people to start reaching out as well. Keep tabs with each other. I mean, I like our social group. So, like, I'm going to rattle myself a little bit. Sometimes I'll be around the firehouse. Man, have you seen that fire department Chronicle guy? He's a freaking nut. I'm like, hold for a second. And you answer. And you're like, what are you doing, man? It's like, these guys are like, you know this guy? I'm like, yeah, he's just like one of us. He's just got a couple screws loose. But I really think that's something I've gotten out of it is we realize this is such a small world, and we can support each other through the distance stuff like Zoom. I mean, who would have thought if you would have bought some stock in Zoom about 4 months ago, you'd be balling right now, right?
Dude, I tell you, like, you got to look at the light side of all this stuff, the happy side.
Yeah.
My girlfriend's birthday and one of her friends' birthdays were last month. And my birthday's actually at the end of this month. But I was like, at one point in time for my girlfriend, we went to 3 different, birthday parties. They were all through Zoom. I'm like, this is awesome. We went to 3 different parties. And we didn't leave the house. I'm not even wearing pants. Like, this is incredible. Like, dude, enjoy it, man. Like, you're saving. I mean, hopefully, you're able to save a little money, and you're not spending money on gifts and stuff. Like, I don't know, man. Like, there are always positives. Like anybody will say, there are always negatives and there are always positives in this stuff. Like, figure it out, man. Help the community if you can. Today I'm going at 3:00. I'm going to a local restaurant. They're donating 100 meals to a local hospital. So
wow.
I'm the liaison. I'm going to pick it all up and I'm dropping it off at the hospital. Like, if you're able to do stuff, then do it, man. But don't sit in your house to play video games all day long. I love Call of Duty. I freaking love Call of Duty. But 30 minutes into Call of Duty, I'm like, screw this crap.
Maybe this is going to bring more awareness to what makes us happy too. I did notice that. I mean, I think in all of this, and this might sound insensitive to some people, I think a lot of the victims or the people that's going to suffer the most are our kids. I mean, my 15-year-old daughter is basically trapped inside. I mean, she goes outside, she goes for walks and stuff like that. But I mean, she missed out on show choir. She's missing out on the finish of her sophomore year. And I'm running out of things to do with her. I mean, as far as like activities and stuff, she's 15. So, I mean, I really think we need to pay more attention to our kids during this time too.
No, 100%, man. But this is where, like, you figure, like, you have to. So human resilience is something that's like amazing, right? And then obviously over, depending on what your belief system is, but millions of years we've adapted and overcome. We figure out stuff. That's why people have different pigment levels depending on where you live, for sun exposure, so on and so forth. We can adapt and overcome on this. The problem is that for a lot of people, and for me, it was a big thing too. That everything you thought was important probably isn't.
It's amazing to see that when you come back to that. You and I were talking before we started the podcast about how our call volume has gone down. It's like all of a sudden people who don't really need to go to the hospital are not calling anymore. It's like,
crazy. I saw that. It is because, and I saw that somebody posted something on Facebook. They were like, hey, call volume for a lot of hospitals are down depending on where you're at. Okay. But in some places the call volumes are down by 50%, and they're like, do you know why? And I ran a call yesterday the girl, I don't know if I told you this or I told my girlfriend about this, but so I go there this morning, 4:30 in the morning. I go, yeah, of course.
Of course, it's 4:30.
It's always. So 4:30 in the morning, I go there, and she says, my left arm is numb, or is not numb. She said my left arm is tingling,
Right.
and I'm like, okay, how long has your left arm been tingling? She said it's been going on for 2 days, and I'm like all the time. She's not on and off. What I'm assuming is that she's sleeping or laying on it,
right,
because you're stuck in the house, and then because it gets better and worse, so on and so forth. So I'm like, okay. All right, not a big deal. What made you call at 4:30 in the morning? Oh, I Googled it.
Hang, hold that thought. We got something going on with the computer screen here. Hold on. We got a glitch. Shoot, hang on. Something weird has just happened. Somebody's hacking our Zoom. I think I saw this on the news. We got somebody hacking into our call here. Who is that hacker? Oh, hacker ain't got no audio. Uh-oh. No audio, hacker. Well, it was going to be a good gag. You ain't got no ain't got no audio. Sorry, Jason. I had to set you up for this one.
Well, let's make it happen, bro. I mean, you can always edit.
Yo, anyone there?
Hello? Hey, now we've officially been hacked by the National Fire Radio. What's up, Jeremy?
Thing on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up? What's up, fellas?
Hey, we're talking about positivity, and what better way to get the two people, the most positive people I know, in one podcast.
You know what's fun about that conversation is I don't have much today.
What's been going with National Fire Radio?
I know he's been baking. I saw that.
Oh,
National Fire Radio. We're gonna, you know what? Today we're gonna show you how to make a turkey. Guys, we're gonna baste up this chicken.
Did you see my spatchcock chicken yesterday? It was delicious.
Dude, do you know what? You know what's so funny is, I swear to God, coronavirus has done one major thing across police, fire, everything. Everyone's become a baker now.
Yeah.
Officer Daniels, Mike the cop, this other dude, Officer Hookham or Bookham, whatever. I think it's Hookham. He's showing you how to do arts and crafts. And then I saw yours yesterday. I'm like, everyone's a baker now. Let's do
it. If you know Fork and Hose Company, AJ.
Oh yeah.
Got an Instagram. He's a career fireman, but he's a chef, also a trained chef. And he's become a good friend. And he's actually, we might be doing some more projects together, wink, wink, in the near future. But, fun thing about that is I get to lean on him now when I need help. It's like talking to him. And I'll be honest with you guys, I don't know how it is where you guys are, but, man, the stores are cleaned out by me. I mean, you walk to the grocery store, and there was, like, nothing left. So, I mean, I couldn't get a turkey. I couldn't get a ham. Like, what am I doing for Easter,
Yeah.
So, doing chickens and tons of produce. It was awesome. It was a fantastic meal yesterday. But it was fun, man. Awesome. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the upside on all of this is you get to spend it home with your immediate family. I mean, I haven't spent this much time with my kids in a long time. It's fantastic.
They come back, who are you? And where'd you come from?
Yeah, well, especially with this cheesy quarantine mustache on my face right now. This is
man, that is awesome, bro.
No, it's not. It's terrible. My wife won't even let me sleep in the same bed with her anymore.
Dude, we've got to get you guys together and do some more of the good news stuff. I mean, I think that's something that's really awesome, that both of you guys have been cranking out such great content and giving us something to take us away from this stuff. Is both of you guys, I mean, just keep pumping out that great, awesome positivity. And now, Jeremy, your area is really getting hit harder probably than both ours combined.
Yeah, we're like ground zero here, man. I mean, it's crazy. I can't even tell you how many people. I mean, I know so many people that are affected by this directly, or have it, or a loved one is in the hospital, or it really is impactful. I mean, we keep saying it, but a month ago it was a punchline, and today it's as serious as it gets. I guess we're plateauing here in the New York, New Jersey area, but it's still very much prevalent, and we're still, I guess New York State had over 700 deaths again in a day. So, I mean, it's there, man. It's there. Yeah. It's affecting all of us.
But you know, Jason, this is the time that we're turning Jeremy into a medical responder, because I bet he is up on all of his PPE nowadays.
I know. He's like, wait, can I spray it with water? No. Shit, nah.
Listen, I keep a hose stream away from everybody. That's all. Right?
Is that how you measure your 6 foot of social distancing?
That's right. That's right. No, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, we have that Rush the Bus platform too with Pete and Julie, and I know Jason met them and so on, and they're in the thick of it, man. They're right in Brooklyn, and they're in the middle of this, and their storytelling is just incredible. You really don't have a handle on what's happening until you really speak to people that are in the street dealing with it. Something they've been doing, which is fantastic, is they're starting to document it on their podcast with other medics from around the country. Being right in the middle of it is just, man, I'll tell you, I sit there and just, it's not often I don't have something to say. And with those guys, man, I just sit back and I just listen, and I just pray for them, because I just, what they're dealing with is just overwhelming. It really is.
No, it's, you know what? And I've said, like we were saying earlier, like, for some places, call volume has dropped because less people are calling 911 because they don't want to go to the hospital. I had a lady last night who called 911, and I was like, okay, do you want me to take you to the hospital? And because she had Googled her symptoms, and of course, within 20 minutes, she was going to be dead, So I was like, what do you want me to take you to the hospital? She's like, no, I verbatim, I don't want to go to the hospital. There's sick people there. I'm like, what? What are we doing?
Imagine that.
Yeah. So
Imagine that.
But New York is absolutely going to be hit the hardest. I mean, especially in those areas where you have, there's 8 million people in New York?
Probably more.
So whatever. So 8 to 10 million people in New York, man. It is such a minute area where, everything that somebody touches, it's like going to be touched by a million other people. So it's going to spread. And it's sad, man. It sucks, dude. I can't imagine what they're going through. I actually, for a second, thought about going up to New York and working on one of the ambulances for, a couple weeks just to help, just to see if it would be even possible.
All right. Jeremy's got to jump in there. Jeremy would have to come along with you so you could do the translation.
Oh yeah.
From New Jersey, New York to Florida.
You don't want me. That's the last place I need to be. That's fantastic, brother. If you were to do that, or just the thought of being there for everybody up there, it's they need it, and I think a lot of the fallout that needs to be discussed too is the mental aspect on all of this, because
we were just talking
hearing
about that.
hearing Pete and Julie's stories and what they're dealing with and what they're going to be dealing with when this is long gone. It's going to leave a lasting impact on everybody that's on that front line. And it's scary. It's truly scary.
Yeah, I think that's why with Banyan, we're going to try to do something for these guys and girls out there, try to at least give them access to something. I'm actually starting to see it now where people are starting to reach out to me. Hey man, this is what's going on in my head, so on and so forth. So I think, Banyan and I are going to try to do something just to try to support people as much as possible, because you're right, man. The mental aspect of this is going to be very difficult for a lot of people. I was just talking to someone today about nursing jobs. Nursing, I don't know about firefighting and paramedics and stuff, maybe, but nursing jobs, guarantee you're going to see a spike in them after all this, because people are going to quit. This is, depending on how bad they got hit, this could be their 9/11, where they were just like driven into the ground with no thanks, and then, pushed off to the side. So we may see that,
Yeah. And do people want to go into that profession when this is over?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's a crazy time. This thing really rocked the country, and I don't think anybody was ready for it.
No.
And the social implications of it too. The economical and the social implications of what we're dealing with because of this is, I think it's going to be probably one of the biggest changing events in the history of the United States. Truly,
100%, especially for like PPE. So with 9/11, it changed everything when it came to transport, or any kind of travel. Like, this will change the way we look at stuff. I don't think anyone was prepared, because how the hell do you be prepared for something like that? When's the last time you wore an N95 mask?
Right.
Right.
Never. So why would people have thousands of them in stock? That's not the way that companies run, So that, man, I tell you, dude, it's insane. It's the whole thing. It's an unfortunate learning experience, but it's crazy.
We're being hacked again. Why does freaking people keep hacking into my Zoom thing for?
The fact that you keep saying hack, I know you're old. I just want you to know
oh, come on now. You call me old?
God, we got hackers in here.
Did you not pay the electric bill in your house? Why are you sitting in the
Oh, man, I don't know. I don't know why.
You're talking to me?
Oh, there we go. We've got another scammer coming in here. Who's this other fella jumping on here?
I don't
know.
What up, homies?
Hey!
Oh, so we're going to talk about fitness now. All right. I've been doing 900 air squats a day.
That's what matters. A lot of air squats, a lot of burpees.
Well, the reason I brought all three of you guys in here is Jeremy, Jason, and Pip is guys, I want to make sure we're still staying positive. I mean, it's what National Fire Radio is about. It's what 555 is about. And we know, for gosh sakes, it's about what Fire Department Chronicles is about. How do we keep this positivity going as an industry and as a group of guys?
Well, before we even do that, I want to make – I don't know if Pip is going to find this, if he's going to be jealous about this or just, appreciate it. But I just wanted to show you my new home gym.
Oh, look at that.
Dude.
We got the full rig. We got about 800 pounds in weights. We got a nice –
And not 800 pounds of weight in my head.
Dude, these are all 45.
Oh, all right. Wait, who's that? Go back to that picture. Wait. Go back to that picture.
Uh-oh.
That's I was an Olympic lifter, bro.
God. You can't put that on the wall, bro.
I can't.
Send that to Ryan.
Thank
Ryan
you.
will put it on his wall.
Thank you. I said that to my girlfriend. I was like, we can't put that on my wall. I look like a pretentious asshole. She's like, I like it, Jason. I like it. It's nice.
Hey, Jeremy, did you see what else he had leaning up against the wall of his garage there, Jeremy? Did you see that?
No, I did not.
He had a small New York roof hook hanging there, sitting there. What?
Oh, do you guys don't know the story about that, do you?
I do not.
So, guy calls me up. Hey, man, I got this hook, or I got this. One of the guys in my department down south, his wife bought him this for his birthday. So he brings it in. He brings this thing in, and he's like, he's showing all the guys. He's like, yo, look at this thing, man. It's awesome. Like, blah, 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 blah. It's so cool. It wasn't pink, dude. So so they take it. They start making fun of him because they're like, what are you going to do with that? Like, it's too short to full roof. It's too long to 4 stores or whatever. They're making fun of him. So they start making fun of him. They steal it. They paint it pink. And then they send it places. This thing is blessed. So whenever they said it in New York, they wouldn't give it back. It went to New York, California. It was in Chicago for a little bit. Just fire departments give it to each other. But every time someone got this, the house got a bunch of structure fires. And sure as crap, the night I got it, we got a nice blazer, bro. So whenever you guys want it, I'll give it to you.
I'm in.
I like that.
That looks like a pip tool right there. It's about my size.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's perfect.
The truck, I may need that.
So how do we keep this positivity going, guys? I mean, I really lean on all three of you guys because I really think you're leaders in the industry. How do we keep this positivity going?
Well, I mean, I think that this has forced us to find other ways of communication. I don't think we'd be doing this morning right now if we weren't, finding ways to, stuck in the house, but also finding ways to communicate, get the message out there. I mean, for me, I enjoy what we do because it's a matter of just putting out content that I think people enjoy, and we try to do our little part and put our stamp on making it a little bit better. And if I had to wait until this whole thing was over, it wouldn't have forced me out. I've been able to interview guys from across the country now that I really didn't have on my radar before. And I think that that's a fantastic thing about what's happening. That's the upside of this, is that it's making us realize there's other ways to get the message out there on platforms that matter. We did our first YouTube live the other night, live stream. It was killer. It did very well. And we're planning one for next week again. And that's going to become a regular staple for us. So, it's things like that. So positivity, yeah, man, things are down right now, but I think you got to look at the upside to it. Look at the different things that allows us to still push ahead, and the job is still good. I'm not dealing with it as much as some others are. I don't do EMS and all that, but I know that there's a lot of people that are down and out right now, and they need a pickup. And if our little piece of a story or something we're doing can help in any way, I mean, then what we're doing is the right thing, and we need to do more of it.
I think that you lead it because I mean you swing that kettlebell one more time on my social media feed. Sometimes I'm like, man, I wish you just hit yourself in the face one time with that bell. But you're leading by example though, is keeping that positivity going.
I mean, it's keeping me sane, right? I'm swinging a kettlebell 500 times to keep myself sane, right? And it's really strange. And this is really strange that you just out of the blue were like, are you free? Like, let me jump on. I didn't know this was happening. I'm looking at the button. I'm like, are we recording right now? Like,
oh yeah.
Wait. I thought we were hacked.
Hey, easy man.
So yeah, I worked yesterday, and we're not super busy at work, but we're busy, and it's new policies and it's new things, and things are changing, and you can't be with the guys. It's Easter dinner at the table with 4 other people while 4 other people are in a different room eating. It's all very different. We had a call this morning, early morning, of someone, and EMS was there already, and they had a lot of people, so they were working, but we were still there. It always makes you think, right? So I come home and do the change in the garage thing as Mrs. Pip is leaving for work, and now she's going to come home tonight and do the change in the garage thing. And we're into a new week of like super stressfulness. And so here I am this morning, like, what am I going to do with the boys today? It's pouring rain out in New Jersey. It's horrible. And I'm almost down on myself. And so, I start sending out messages because I've been talking to a lot of people, and we know a guy who's been on isolation now. I want to say he told me it's 16 days. I'm not going to say his name.
Wow.
I know you guys know him, but let me see. Wait, I don't want to get it wrong.
16 days?
Yeah.
Because he's had a fever. He's had a fever, but the main fever's broken, so now it's just a fever back and forth.
Are you talking about Jeremy?
No, Mike.
Okay.
So he's isolation for 16 days. Today, like, it's my wedding anniversary. Then he tells me he's down in weight. He's down 20 pounds. And not in shape anymore, and like just hurting from all this. But he's feeling better, right? So he's doing better than the people. My feed in Jersey right now is blowing up with police officers, EMTs, paramedics that are all not very old and passing away. So I think about this guy and I'm like, look, man, you're doing better than so many other people, and if you're feeling better, I'm like, jump down and do 10 push-ups an hour, 10 sit-ups an hour, and just see if that's something. And that kind of motivates me, right? So the whole speak of this is like, if we're in this together, it's going to be better,
Somebody tweet that. Jeremy, tweet that immediately. Oh, that was a good quote. Look at there.
Somebody record that.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I just said, right? But that's it. And here I am, and I'm telling him, I'm like, I'm supposed to be the motivation guy, right? I'm the jackass that 6 episodes ago launched a motivational podcast, and I'm like, damn, I'm not very motivational right now. I'm trying to motivate myself by swinging a kettlebell 500 times a day.
Jason, you think that comes from this accountability group that we have?
What's that?
You think it comes from the accountability group? I'm sorry to cut you off there, Pip, but I mean, I really think it's by having Pip and Jeremy in our phones and every time. Pip, I mean, is that something you can reach out to Jeremy? You guys are really close to keep this stuff going. Because I mean, I really think that Jason and all of you guys are hitting it so much on the head is that the mental health aspects of this. I mean, New Jersey had the first line of duty death for COVID-19 that I'm aware of, and he was a young guy.
Yeah, I think he was a Passaic firefighter.
Yep.
Yeah. Look, I think approaching this in a realistic thought process is the best way to do it, right? So you don't approach, you can't approach something at this level and say like, this is going to be fine. Like, you got to be like, shit, this is going to be really bad. Like, this is not going to be okay. And then we'll slowly make our way up and find peaks and valleys.
Right.
Like that. I mean, peaks and valleys is the definition of what life is, right? So, we are going to have those valleys where we're like, dude, what is happening? I love my girlfriend's friends who was 33 years old. She's a nurse and she died, bro. She died. Like
33.
33. No, like she's got a 4-year-old kid. Literally, I have a 4-year-old daughter. Like, holy crap, man. You know, but you can't, if you just look at negativity all the time, you're going to be like, all right, well, now I'm depressed and now I don't want to do anything. And then it's a self-deprecating cycle versus just saying like, man, that sucks. Process it, allow yourself to have the feelings like, damn, dude, that sucks. You want to cry it out. Who gives a crap? Everyone feels great after a nice cry. I don't know if Jeremy's ever cried. I can say
I bet he cries.
Yeah.
Twice.
Twice.
No, he's crying now. You made him cry.
He turned his video off. So
You made him all sensitive. Like, oh no.
I had to turn my camera off. I was embarrassed.
I
was tearing up.
But I mean, you know, dude, accept the valley, but then take the peak, dude. Like, laugh about something. Find something to laugh about. Do whatever it is. And when it comes to working out, we all know sometimes you walk out there, man, and like, especially with Olympic lifting. So I made it. I was a national level Olympic lifter. Like I made, like, actually made it to national. The Olympic trials were there. I was not in the Olympic trials, so let's just define that right now. But like, there were mornings, bro, where I would show up to work out, man, and everything in my body hurt. But the second I went for a little jog, did a couple air squats, you know, did some 90-90s and opened up my hips and started squatting, dude, I was ready to go. Like, I felt better. The endorphins are moving, that kind of thing. So that's why it's important. I was in my house for 10 days and I wanted to kill myself. Like, I was like, I played Call of Duty 9 times today. I've self-loved 40, and like, my hands are killing me. So like
the safest love you could have, brother. The safest love you could have.
COVID free.
I always cuddle with myself after because I'm not a savage.
True gentleman.
No, but like, dude, stick your head outside, man. Just take 2 minutes and stick your head outside. Like, dude, just do something different. That's the best way. Expect the valleys, but enjoy the peaks. You know. We
had yesterday. I think a big part too is like just trying to find a little piece of normalcy in all this craziness. Yesterday we had a rollover. We started Easter with a rollover on the interstate yesterday morning. And after the run, you know, we all went to Dunkin' Donuts, and we had 4 companies there, and we all had coffee in the parking lot in a big circle, just kind of just BSing and just getting back to the normalcy of, you know, it's okay to tell some stories and laugh and enjoy each other's company, because as soon as we get away from that circle and we go back to the firehouses and then go on with your day, you know, it becomes stressed again. And so I think finding that piece of normalcy, whether it's something little. I mean, yesterday was great, man. Yesterday was Easter. I mean, I was home yesterday in the afternoon with my whole family. We cooked all day. That's normalcy to me. Those are the things that you got to take. That we take for granted all the time. But now, in a time like this, those little things I think get us through the day more so than it used to.
Jeremy, I think this applies to everybody on the conversation today. I think this time has made us all slow down. Pip and I had this conversation already. It's like, you realize I haven't been on the airplane in like 30 days. And it's like, man, this is maybe realizing that we all need to slow down a little bit. Jeremy, I know you burn candles at both ends, both your business and your side business. And Pip, he burns it all in. Jason, I don't know how that guy does all what he does. I mean, it seems like
I'm slowly losing my mind.
Right? Isn't that's a whole new. I totally agree on the peaks and valleys. I mean, I'm literally peaking and valleying in like hours sometimes. You know, like in 1 hour, I usually it would be like whatever, a day or two, whatever, but like hours now. But you know, that's all part of it too. Is just like, you know, I'm losing my mind because I can't do what I normally do. I mean, even with I-55, like, aside from posting stuff, we're supposed to be giving out a grant this week at FDIC. We shut that down. We have all the applications, but we're not doing what we normally do. You know, we're trying to change it, and it's fortunate that some of the folks who are in a less harder hit area from this have really stepped up. But that's it. You know, it's slowing down for everyone, for at least us here. I mean, it's yeah, the peaks and valleys are everywhere. That's for sure. That's the easiest thing to go back to with this. I mean, I'm all over the place these days.
But I think for a lot of people, what they're not realizing is happening. So human interaction, human touch is a huge thing for a lot of people. I'm a hugger, man. I love high-fiving people, hugging, like that's just my thing, right? So when I meet people and they've been quarantined and they're like, people treat them like shit. They're like, no, you got COVID, bro. Like, or you may have COVID, and then they treat them like they are the plague.
Right.
And so for a lot of people, it becomes an emotional thing, especially if they're already teetering. And then they get quarantined, and then no one wants to go anywhere near them or talk to them or, anything. People, like this, like you said, mental health could be really, really bad for people. But, I think just in general, man, like you said, checking in with people, like a text message here and there, send a meme, laugh about anything. I was very, very, very weary about putting out videos during this. But I was like, you know what? Screw it, man. People got to laugh, bro.
Right.
You got to laugh. Like, it just has to happen. Otherwise we're going to see a 3,000% increase in suicides. And
so when are you putting out funny content?
Oh, I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming. Oh, I knew that was coming.
With his drums.
I'm sorry. I thought you did take time off. I wasn't sure. I'm sorry.
I knew that was coming. Oh, I saw that one. I bet.
Sorry.
Low hanging fruit. They go for the low hanging fruit.
It was easy.
They just go for it. That's what they do, right?
It was easy.
Man, it hurts. It hurts when the baker starts making fun of you. It really does.
Oh,
go with the chef. More chef than baker.
All right, guys. Thank you all for jumping on such quick notice. I know I set you up, Jason. Pip, get us out of here with some good takeaways from what's going on and what we can do. We're going to be coming out of this pretty soon. How can you start emerging yourself out of this funk if you're in it?
Dude, I wish I had that answer, man. It's just keeping, right? I wish I had it. Like, I don't got that shit. I'm not there. Trust me. I know there's some other people out there. I don't got that shit. I ruined it all. I'm not guy. Yeah. No, really, and I keep saying it to people. It's just, you just got to keep on keeping on it. You know what I mean? It's strange times. It's very strange times. It's very real. It's right in front of our faces where I am. I know it's not in front of a lot of other people's faces. And I'm really sorry that, actually, I'm happy for you that it's not in front of your face. But it is for real. And we just got to get through it together. We're way better together than we are apart.
That's what the tweet was. That's what the tweet was.
When you see the people out there that are really coming alive with this, like, there's a lot of things you could do to make things better. And you slow it down a little bit and you think about it and you just keep on moving forward. Can't go backwards. So hopefully we really do come out of this soon. There's a lot of different, as they call them. I've learned a lot about models now. I've been paying attention to models and science.
I thought you said butthole. I've learned a lot about buttholes lately. Like, did you know?
Hey, whatever you're watching at this point, I mean, the internet has a lot of stuff on it. You could have run out.
Well, Jason, that's how they're taking their daily temperatures at the firehouse.
It could, you do have an option. I can give you 2 options, whatever you need now.
We can do this orally. Nah, bro.
You get a more accurate reading. You get a more accurate reading that way. You got to stay outside in the. My company.
The difference between the
literally comes in through an alley now. So the next time I go to work, we stand in an alley 6 feet apart from each other to come into these screens. Like, someone just this is gonna be. Get out.
The difference between the red and blue one, though, right?
The taste.
Yeah. We're here all night.
I've been in EMS way too long.
Try the veal. Hey, though, real quick too. Huge shout out to, because yesterday we went on an EMS run to assist a crew, and they were from Indiana.
Oh, wow!
What I mean? So, dude, New Jersey, we got 85 FEMA ambulances, over 200 providers, EMTs and paramedics. I've seen Maryland, Pennsylvania, Oklahoma, Indiana, and California. So these guys are helping us out, and they're working and they're helping the EMS people, the EMS departments that are just beyond tax. So It's cool to be able to say that and to see these folks out there. So knowing people are stepping up to it is just amazing.
Hey, there's Little Pip.
There's a little one in the back hiding with his pajamas on. A lot of pajama days going on in my house these days.
Hey, Jason, just so you know that Pip could have gotten his paramedic card back during all this, and he chose not to.
I've chosen not. Yes, I am not reactivating for this yet.
Very smart.
Yeah,
it sounds like the smartest guy around here.
It's a pretty smart decision, man. I mean, you're talking. I mean, again, not to get serious on a serious level, but most EMS trucks are fairly busy in my area of New Jersey. So say 10 to 15 calls a shift, and maybe like 7 or 8 of them are cancels. I mean, now I think they're talking 20 calls a shift. 4 to 5 cardiac arrests. Your everything is jumped up, and it's not going away. So that series then that Jason mentioned before about the mental health thing after this, we have to keep things going. We have to keep an eye on people. They're just so busy. You can see it in their eyes. You know what I mean? You can see it in their faces. My friends, their Facebook posts, their things. It's just about being just dog tired, man. Imagine that worst shift you've ever had. That's every day now for a few weeks. And then it's great to have the FEMA buses. Apparently that is really
lightening
the load off. Yeah, lightening the load. It's not changing the load. The load's we're still growing, so it's good though. And that's good to see, that gives you hope, right? That gives you that sense of like how we're able to laugh together.
That's a big morale boost, man. It's a big morale boost to know that the rest of the country is coming in to backfill and help them out.
Jeremy, I think that speaks to your brotherhood that you're talking about. I mean, that's fantastic.
Yeah, and we've talked about it, Jeremy, with Rush the Bus, with Pete and Julie, how in EMS, they never really had the sentinel moments. You know what I mean? Like, we're in the fire service, it's a very different thing. And now this is one of those moments where people from Indiana are coming here and seeing these folks from Jersey that are losing friends, and they're able to help. If they can take that back there, it's going to grow that brotherhood, for lack of a better term, in that field. So there's another positive takeaway to all this, that hopefully that could change. And I know I just saw a post, NY Firewire on Facebook I saw this morning, had something. It was a medic from Florida where they were waiting to take a patient out of an ER, and everybody in the ER just started singing Bohemian Rhapsody, all the employees. And like, think about your most stressed you've ever been in anything you've done, and then someone starts singing like Bohemian Rhapsody, and everybody's singing, and it's just a few minutes of not normalcy, but something to get your mind off that. So those guys are going to go back from Florida and be like, yo, check this shit out. And
I think Jeremy would make a great Freddie Mercury.
I could do it with my hair.
You're not gonna get an argument from me. I mean, look at this.
It's getting good. Freddie Mercury styles right there.
Look at that.
That's a week.
Beautiful.
Man,
that's a week.
He needs a white van and a candy dish stat.
I was gonna say, bro. You guys want to try? I have a puppy.
Jeremy,
you guys are just jealous.
Yeah, I'm just jealous that yours is not white like mine is. Go ahead, Jason.
Correct.
No, but real fast, what I like, just like piggyback on what Pip said. What I'm really hoping happens here, I really hope that people get a greater appreciation for EMS-only agencies. Because it's down here. It's very plain and simple. Because we are fire and EMS, that's why we are paid the way that we are. Because look, most firefighters are volunteers. 70% of all firefighters are volunteers. They do it for free. But a lot of medics and EMTs, especially EMTs medics, they're underpaid. Now, I will say this. I will start with this. I don't think if you go to school for 3 months that you should make $100,000 walking in the door, because I didn't. Like, as a firefighter, I walked in making $30,000 a year. And it took me 12 years to get to where I'm at now. So you have to pay some dues. But I know that FDNY, I know that the FDNY EMS, the EMTs, dude, those guys are grossly underpaid. And hopefully this will do something for them. Again, I think you have to earn your time. You got to do your 5 years or whatever to do your steps and get up. But I really hope that they get paid, or something gets put on them and it's like, hey, these guys should be compensated. I mean, some of those guys are making freaking $9 an hour, $11 an hour. working in the city. That's insane. So, I mean, I really hope that happens.
I agree.
Yeah, they're going to get that what they deserve now. You know what I mean? They're going to get to be recognized as the third. I'm going to say the third service, like it's a bad thing, but a third service into police, fire, police, EMS. Finally, they're going to get that for sure.
Yeah,
they better.
Yeah.
What do you got up your sleeve, Jeremy, coming out in the next couple of weeks with National Fire Radio? Number one, thank you for keeping the content coming. Both you and Jason have been cranking it out, and I've really been enjoying it. You've kind of reached out to some new stuff, too.
I bet it's going to be a new innovation.
A new innovation?
A new innovation. Probably some kind of innovation.
I invented the National Fire Radio face shield.
I'm gonna try to become funny.
Oh!
No, we have a lot happening. I mean, Pip, on the other end here, he's crushing it, man. He came on with the Size Up podcast, which he and I kind of crafted, and it was really his idea to do a solo project outside of 555 and something for himself. And I just think it was a great opportunity. He's had some incredible guests on, and he really, not to blow up his, his ego or make his head any bigger than it is, or that mohawk pop anymore. But, he really has a great message to share, and the Size Up has so many different meanings to it. He's doing great work on his podcast, and I can't thank him enough for all the hard work and so on. So he keeps pushing out content. Rush the Bus is our EMS based.
Jeremy, National Fire Radio. We got it's a new innovation. It's a mask. Jeremy, isn't that a salad spinner? Yeah. Well, it's still an innovation.
Yeah. That's incredible. Wait, hold on. Can I record that? I need that.
Right. You know what the best part is?
For that.
Do you know what the best part about this is the video. There's no video for this podcast, so everyone's gonna be like, "What the hell is going on?"
Oh no! I started hitting video record a long time ago.
Oh, okay,
yeah, but he's got to figure out how to edit it. He can't figure out how to edit it.
Nice.
The first hacker took 5 minutes.
Hey, easy with the old man stuff.
I love it.
All right.
Yeah,
sorry,
so we got a lot going on. Our first YouTube live the other night. We streamed live with a cast of characters, and that went very well. We actually have another one planned for the 23rd of this month. That one's going to bring some video content with it, where we're going to be talking about Main Street USA with some fire videos, and we're gonna do a roundtable on that. That's cool. It's kind of a new element, something that really hasn't been done before. We're looking forward to that, and just we have 3-4 podcasts planned in the next 7 days.
Nice.
So the opportunity of being home a lot now really has opened up the door to do a lot more of this type of content. So I'm excited. It's great to connect. It's great to meet different people, and as upsetting that FDIC didn't happen and a few of the other conferences have been canceled. We got to do our part, man. We could roll over and play dead, or we could push ahead, and we're pushing ahead.
Yeah. Love it.
Jason, what do you got planned in the hopper?
Polishing up a video, a stay-at-home song with firefighter Fenton.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah.
We need to get him on. That guy is funny.
Yeah, he's a good dude. Yeah. So we're polishing up that right now. Should be out in the next day or so. Then I'm doing tomorrow. I'm doing a podcast with Banyan Treatment Centers about first responder mental health. Just kind of give people things to do during all this, try to mess with that a little bit, make sure that guys, hopefully can stay straightforward during this whole thing. And then got a couple of the videos I want to do.
Smiling. It's like you just ate the canary green.
I want to do, there's 2 videos I want to do at some point in time. One, how I did the whole medic thing, like the medic scenarios, EMT scenarios when you're in school and they're just complete crap. I want to do fire interviews. So I don't know about you guys, but like down here, they were just ridiculous. Like you walk in, they're like, all right, you arrive on scene and your captain tells you to go save that kid out of a window. But as you're walking, your chief comes up and goes, no, go take that fire hose and spray that person with water. What do you do? Like, shit. Yeah, I want to do something like that, and then I want to do a video about what if Google WebMD was a person, and just how
Like if they went.
My wife will give you some for that if you would like. My wife.
Yeah.
She's seen a lot of people who've come to her and been like, "Well, WebMD said," and she's like, "Well, go listen to WebMD and don't listen."
Yeah, so that's what's going on with me, man.
Man, guys, I can't thank you enough for such short notice. Just popping on.
Pip, you don't get
I got
to
nothing coming up. Hey, I got nothing coming up. I'm gonna go back to I'm in a valley again.
Hey, I was good there.
Maybe I can listen to your podcast about health.
He was Jason. He was rapping. He was going to come back to Pip to wrap it up with a fortune cookie one liner that he dropped before. When he was like, "How can we make it more
in the works?" Right
Hey,
now.
Pip, wrap this up. Pip, 20 minutes ago. Pip, take us out of the
wrap this up.
podcast.
Now he's gonna wrap it up, and I don't even get to say it. Don't worry.
I'm not even wearing pants today. I didn't even want to get out of bed.
I wasn't done yet.
Yeah, my ass. You were ready to just be like, screw the size up that other podcast.
All right, come on. Tell us again, Pip. What you got going on? I was coming back. I was circling back. I tell you what, it's like trying to
don't try.
Try to keep up with all these Zoom screens.
It's 3 people. Jeremy had 12 on the other night. Come on, that's your game.
You know what? Jeremy's the man, though.
No,
he's making a short joke. He was making a short joke.
Oh,
he was saying that you gotta be above 5'3" and no hanging fruit. Close it out.
Oh no!
Well done.
I can't stop laughing. This is it. This is what it is, though. This is the new. This is it. This is what it is. Like, right? So I'm working on a little recording on my couple days off here for the size up. I have people that were just trying to coordinate schedules, but they are from a TV show on Fox that is about the emergency services. So a few of those folks are going to come on with me and just speak about, their TV show and the fact that they know it's absolutely nothing like our daily life and things like that they openly admit that it is a drama and that's what it is. But there's some pretty cool folks. So we're working on that for this week and a few other guests lined up and, hopefully doing some more stuff on National Fire Radio. You may see a cooking video this week with the mini Pips and myself and Fork and Hose again and that debacle that was a cooking show.
What's up with all the cooking shit? All right, so I'm getting ready to make my jalapeno popper chicken. Maybe I'll have to pop one out from the Jumpseat kitchen too.
Hey, in the middle of your video, if you could just go, let's go to Jason real fast and see what he's making, and I'll just be holding a coffee. I made coffee, and then you go right back.
I got you.
Yeah, I made coffee. Like, all right, we're back.
We're back. Good job, buddy. We should do you know what we should do though? We got to figure out how to do one of the videos. I see today there was one with guys throwing a baseball. My brother rugby team did. They were kicking a rugby ball. Like, I don't know if we can get a microphone or I don't know what it is. We got to come up with something before someone else.
Well, that's what I was, believe it or not, that's where I was headed. How do we put our brains together and make something like that? I love that videos. I mean, we can do, I can get people from all the way from California all the way to up in New Jersey. What would your idea of a video that'd be cool like that? Whether you're in your turnout gear, whether you're not turnout gear, how can we make a video like that? And then maybe Jason or Jeremy or any of us can put it together. But I'll tell you what I'd like to put it together. Yeah. But maybe even say thank you to our healthcare workers. Maybe thank you to the healthcare workers from the fire service.
Yeah. I'm sure we can do something.
Figure something out.
All right, Jeremy, you're in charge just because your brain thinks like that. Come up with something.
Jeremy, National Fire Radio. I got this.
Everybody's got to do their Jeremy impersonation. And then
It's just I got new innovation. It's called it holds stuff. It's called a coffee mug.
It's the salt shaker. You got to pass the salt shaker. Here's your salt.
Pass the salt shaker.
I can't.
It's Jeremy from National Fire Radio.
Yeah.
Hey, Ryan, I just want to thank you for
making fun of Ryan. I'm just
Ryan's murdered people. That's why. He's got a couple people buried in his backyard.
What you don't know, what happens in Appalachia stays in Appalachia.
Look at these hoarders.
Hey, now
bodies under their stuff.
Yeah. Oh, look. Oh my God, there's a body.
Well, on a serious note, Jeremy, fires are still happening too. And I mean, we've let me tell you, we've had a rough week here. I mean, we had We had a fatal yesterday. Was it day before yesterday morning? Then we had another. Fires are happening. And if you're a firefighter listening to this, it's time to buckle down because with everybody staying home, we've had more entrapment calls, more people trapped. So keep in mind.
I mean, that commercial building fires are going to go up once these restaurants and bars are going to be able to bounce back and so on. So, I mean, you know, the sky's the limits of what's going to happen. We've had a couple fires in the last week alone also. So, I don't know. It's picking up again. I don't know what the story is, but interesting times, no doubt.
I don't even
All
know
right,
what
fellas.
fire is anymore.
All right, man.
Who wants to do the lead out first? I'm gonna leave. I'm done being the host. You guys can be the host. Get us out of here, Jeremy. How we gonna end this here thing?
Well, if it's from the back step to the front seat to the jump seat, it's Ryan Pennington with Jumpseat Views. Thank you, everyone, for being here.
Oh, man. Look at that.
Look at that.
That is gorgeous.
I don't have a cool
Hit that
saying.
beautiful federal cue.
Take us out of here, Jason.
Then we just tip in the back doing kettlebell swings. Yeah.
And don't forget your favorite coffee company.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Hey guys, thank y'all for coming on.
It's great seeing you guys.
Hey. All right, guys, podcast over. Thank you all so much for coming on. That was fantastic. I mean, that was absolutely fantastic.
Later, guys.
Later.
See you, guys. Jason, thanks for coming on, Pip.